Hi, it's Kip in Bates here. Long tiring day, taking the kids to the beach by lake and then driving to the cottage, and we're baking here in 34-degree heat. Nevertheless, I thought I'd make time to record a quick video about how blockchain does not magically ensure that all data is true. Now, it is the case that blockchains allow you to create these digital assets and then ensure that there is one single view of the truth as to whether or not those assets have been transferred. So in that sense, blockchains do create truth regardless of the nature of all the participants on the blockchain. That's the sort of fundamental aim of having a distributed, decentralized ledger. However, what a blockchain cannot do is ensure that the data that is added to the blockchain is actually true. And this is where, when blockchains move out beyond just creating digital assets and looking at the transfer of ownership of those digital assets into actually being used as a data store, that things kind of go off the map a bit. And I keep seeing these posts where people say we can use blockchains to ensure that the data that we have is absolutely true and valid, and it's going to be great because then we can trust the results that AIs come up with, or that credit scoring systems come up with, or whatever. A blockchain will not magically make your data correct if you write that data to the blockchain, because you can write false data to it. The only area in which a blockchain does provide some sense of a true universal view of what is going on is in the digital asset worlds. When you are creating a balance using a consensus system and some kind of coin or cryptocurrency generation algorithm, then you can be pretty certain, as long as the blockchain hasn't been compromised through a some kind of attack, which is fairly rare and non-existent in the actual Bitcoin blockchain world, then you can be sure that that particular data is true. But we are talking about a very small section of data here. We're talking basically about people's balances of these digital assets, how many bitcoins they have, how many they spent, where they spent them to. We're not talking about patient health records or data sets for AI or something like that. These have to come in from the outside. And so whenever you see an article saying we're going to use a blockchain in order to ensure the veracity of the data, you've got to be very, very careful. If the data is coming from the outside, then there is no guarantee as to its validity. I've said this before in a few videos, but I think it's going to keep coming up because people look at blockchain and they read something about how it provides this one reliable view of the truth amongst multiple disconnected parties, and they think that somehow a magic blockchain one can be waved over any data and ensure that that data is reliable, and that is absolutely not the case. So at best, what you can do is have data that is digitally signed, and you can actually do that with a database. You can say that here's a database and people can only add data if they digitally sign it. So blockchain doesn't bring anything extra there, really. Anyway, I hope that explained a few things. I have no doubt I'm going to be coming back to this again over time because it's an old chestnut that keeps cropping up. But if we all work together, we can squash this one. So see you in the next video soon. Bye for now.